Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about your hair and the different types of things that can cause hair loss. A lot of these you guys are very unaware of, and some of these are surprising. So you're going to be shocked about some things that can cause hair loss. But first, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and be sure to click that notification bell so that that's you, will be one of the first to get notifications of new vids I post up. Let me straighten up my gear here. Okay. Also scroll down where the text is posted for the video. You will find 15 terms. Please look those 15 terms up via a video format platform. And right now, that with a D, that be YouTube. Okay. Okay, so let's get started. First things first, I want to talk about alopecia, which as you guys are aware of, can cause hair loss. Also, there are 15 types of alopecia, really 14 types of alopecia. The 15th one is not an alopecia, but it can cause alopecia, and that is an overactive pitta dosha. KimMe, where did you get pitta dosha? Okay. In traditional Hindu, Ayurvedic, or Ayurveda medicine, there's a thing called doshas, D-O-S-H-A. And dosha is the biological energies found throughout the human body and mind. When out of balance, it can lead to adverse health reactions or health effects. Also, your doshas are affected by seasons, lifestyle, and diet. Okay, and each person has a dominant dosha out of all three. The three types of dosha are Vata, V-A-T-A, Pitta, P-I-T-T-A, and Kapha, K-A-P-H-A. Now, we all have all three doshas, but one is dominant. And if your Pitta dosha is dominant, that's okay. People with Pitta dosha are precise, sharp-witted, and direct. By the way, people with Vata dosha or have the body type of energetic, creative, and flexible. And people with a kapha dosha are loyal, patient, and supportive. Here's the deal. Although we have all three of these doshas to some degree, and we have a dominant one, the dosha that can cause hair loss, baldness, is a receding hairline, is pitta dosha when it is overactive. Okay. And what that means is that if you sweat a lot, if you are hot all the time, pitta dosha, by the way, overactive pitta dosha can also cause, by the way, as a side note, or let me interject myself, it can also cause graying, early graying of the hair, by the way. But if you have a high overactive pitta dosha, then here's some things that can cause besides excessive graying or early graying, balding, receding hairline, etc., hair loss. It also causes acid reflux, diarrhea, which can turn into an ulcer. It also causes burning, yellow or red eyes, aggression, agitation, irritation, frustration, shun. Okay. Rashes, allergic reactions, acid reflux, etc., and diarrhea. So we all have all three of these types: Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Pitta, if it is overreactive, let me say that again, can cause balding, early graying. It can cause a receding hairline, which would be in the form of balding or just hair loss. All right, so I had to tell you guys that. So when I say there's 15 types of alopecia, the 15th would be an overreactive pitta dosha, which would cause alopecia. So there's really 14 concrete types of alopecia. The reason why I corrected that or said that it was for corrective purposes, after I did the 14 types of alopecia video, I realized that pitta dosha could cause alopecia. And so I kept saying there's 15 types. There's really 15 types, but really, I was right. There's 14 types. And then you have pitta dosha overactive, which can cause alopecia. So there you go. So shockingly, however, besides alopecia, or these different things that can actually cause hair loss. Please, before I go into these, I am not a doctor, not trying to be a doctor, don't want to be a doctor. Please consult your physician, whomever you want to consult about your hair, all right? Your beautician, your stylist, etc. I'm just here for information purposes only, although I do have my own skin and hair care line, but I'm very, very detailed and very, how can I say it? Informative, okay, about hair, 7+ years of research, okay? So here we go. Here are some things that you may know about some of these you probably don't know about. Okay, let me adjust this one more time. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, extreme temperatures, including body heat. That would be what I just said. What did I say? Let's say it together. An overactive pitta dosha. All right, anemia in the form of low iron, secondary syphilis, DHT, tooth infections, stress, vitamin deficiency. That's your D and B vitamins. Heredity, or such as D and B vitamins. Let me say that. Heredity. I already said alopecia. Medicines. Some medicines can cause hair loss, and just as a single medicine or a combination of two or more medicines can cause your hair loss. Okay, the single one may be okay, but in combination with others, there may be a chance of hair loss, and you need to speak with your physician on that. Gluten sensitivity in the form of silent celiac disease. Gluten sensitivity is also called celiac disease, and celiac disease. What is celiac disease, Kimmy? Okay, let me do that right. Celiac disease is you have a sensitivity to flour. Okay, breads, pies, anything that has flour in it. Okay, infections, thyroid disease, pregnancy, trauma, hypothyroidism, puberty, protein deprivation, hormonal changes, cardiovascular disease, life vicissitudes. And vicissitudes are basically life happenings that are excessive. Someone just stole all of your $220,000 out of the bank. Your husband was the sole provider and he had $220,000 and you guys are divorcing, things like that. Okay. Excessive sebum production, endogenous substances, and general illnesses that I haven't mentioned, or illnesses. Some of the illnesses I just mentioned are not general; they're major. But some general illnesses can also cause hair loss. So there's some that you probably did not know about. Okay, so hair loss is this. This is what I do. All right. So just to give you guys some information, hair cells are the fastest growing cells of the body, but they are also the first to go if there is a vitamin or mineral deficiency. And so with that, all of the nutrients are first that you intake from your food or supplements are first sent to the parts of the body that really needs them. This is going to be the heart, the liver, the kidneys, etc. Then the hair. So it's important to get the right nutrients in the right quantities in your body so that your hair can get the excess nutrients and minerals. Okay. So if your diet is inclusive of you may be eating healthy, but are you eating enough of that? Okay. Or are you eating the right amount of that? Okay. You know what I'm saying? You need to add something to your diet. Okay. So your hair is the last. Okay. And it is a cell. Your hair is a cell. Here's the deal. Let me tell you that going back to pitta dosha, overactive pitta dosha. If you're eating and you have an overactive pitta dosha, meaning you basically get hot. You're a hot-natured person. And taking into consideration that the minerals and vitamins that you intake go to your kidneys and go to your kidney and your heart and your liver first, and then your hair, you're getting it from two different angles. Because if it goes to the the parts of the body that really needs the nutrients and vitamins, go to the parts of the body that really needs it first, and then your hair, then on top of that, you have overactive pitta dosha. Wow. And there you have balding. Early graying. You'll have all kinds of things happening, like I mentioned earlier, balding, early graying of your hair. What else can happen? A receding hairline. and just overall hair loss, shedding, of course. Okay, so also iron deficiency. The two things that causes hair loss the most, besides an overactive pituitary, are two are iron deficiency and low protein intake. Now, your hair is made of protein. Your body is made of protein. Your hair, your fingernails are made of protein. But if your intake of protein is low and coupled along with low iron, guess what? You're going to have hair problems. You're going to have unhealthy hair. So let me talk about iron first. Okay, iron deficiency is the most common cause of hair loss in women. The deficiency is most common in women of childbearing years than men. Now, men can't bear children, but I'm just saying, okay? Postmenopausal women as well. When there's an iron deficiency, the red blood cells in blood are minimal and needed to transport oxygen to the cells and give you energy. Growing hair follicles require a lot of iron. There is one of your minerals, okay? So women of heavy menstrual cycles are more at risk of becoming iron deficient. So if you have a heavy menstrual cycle, you're more prone, or there's a chance you're going to be more prone to having an iron deficiency. Please talk to your doctor or physician about your iron intake, ladies, if you want healthy hair. It's critical. Next time you go to the doctor, don't make a doctor appointment for it, but unless you're having excessive hair loss. But trust me, it is critical that you get your iron intake in. Growing hair follicles require a lot of iron, as I said. So if some of the symptoms of low iron or extreme fatigue, paleness. I just told someone here recently, I looked at their face and they're very, very, very light skinned. I said, your iron is low. Look at your face. Go look at your face. And their face, very, very light-skinned person, but their face was even lighter than the rest of their body. And I told them, they had already told me they're anemic. And I'm like, yeah, and you haven't been getting any iron. Okay, shortness of breath, anxiety. By this time, the deficiency may have affected the hair. So if you have extreme fatigue, paleness, shortness of breath, anxiety, any of those symptoms, then by that time, your deficiency has affected your hair. Okay, and over 30% of the world's population are anemic. Did you know that? 30% of the world's population are anemic. Okay, so some of the other things that can cause alopecia, by the way, or if I didn't mention some things that can cause alopecia, hormonal imbalance and autoimmune disease can cause alopecia. So if I didn't mention that, genetics, which is a family history, stress, which I mentioned earlier for just general hair loss, medication, again, for general hair loss, pregnancy for general hair loss, and short or long-term disease. Okay, hypotrichosis. Now, that's when there was no hair to begin with. That is not alopecia. Okay, let me say that again. If you have hypotrichosis, Hypotrichosis. If you have hypotrichosis, that means that you never had any hair from the beginning in that area, and that's not considered alopecia. Alopecia is where hair has been taken away, okay, or there's a loss of hair that was there. All right, so let me go on and go a little further. Some of the most important, another thing I wanted to talk about is the protein, but I'm going to finish here with your cells. Okay, hemoglobin level for iron, by the way, we'll finish talking about iron. The hemoglobin level for iron should be 9 to 11 for women. 12 is ideal. So when you go to your doctor and he's going to check, he or she is going to check your hemoglobin level, which is your iron level, and it should be between 9 and 11 for women. 12 is ideal. So if you can keep your iron level at 12 hemoglobin, you're doing very good. Okay. That way, if it goes down a little bit, you're still okay. Not the greatest, but you're still okay. Men, 11 to 13. If you are a healthy woman and you're losing hair, it is most likely due to lack of iron. But check this out. If you have lack of iron, you're not healthy. Okay, don't shoot the messenger. Red meats are a great source of ferritin, a type of stored iron that helps the body produce hair protein. And which I'm going to talk about. Vitamin C enhances the absorption of iron. And so what you need to do is include at least 12 milligrams of iron in your diet daily. 12 milligrams of iron in your diet daily to help you maintain that 9 to 12 hemoglobin. All right. Now, if you do not receive enough protein, speaking on protein, the body will ration off the amount available, cutting off supply to the hair. So I'm telling you, protein, everything goes to protein, and iron goes to the critical parts of your body, your organs first. Are you guys getting this? You got to keep that up. You got to keep it at a level to where if something goes down one day, yeah, okay, I'm okay. I'll pick it back up tomorrow. So 12 is ideal for your iron. All right. Lack of protein will leave your hair dry and brittle. So if you're wondering why you have dry and brittle hair, two things could cause it. Two of many, but two things is low protein or lack of protein. But another thing is the sebum. Your scalp produces sebum. It's clear initially, but if you don't wash your hair often, it'll start building up, and then you can see it because you can scratch your scalp and it'll be in your fingernails, under your fingernails, and you can see the sebum, that little white stuff or ashy like or powdery white stuff that you can get. It's kind of oily as well. Sebum is oily, but it's like a powdery, oily kind of substance, but more powdery, and you can flip it off your nails, and it's, there you go. But it reminds me of pie crust. It really does, because pie crust has oil in it, but it also has flour. All right, depending on what kind. But gluten-free has no flour, or at least not white flour, okay, or regular flour. Okay, so every cell in our body requires protein for life, for tissue repair, and construction of new tissue. So if your body does not have enough protein, a large number of hair strands may enter the resting phase at one time, resulting in hair loss. Okay, so here's something you probably didn't know. Vegetarians usually have a higher protein deficiency than non-vegetarians. Once again, don't shoot the messenger. If you look at most vegetarians, or some of them, if they're not really on their game and of how to be a vegetarian and how to be a healthy vegetarian, some of them, their hair is really thin and scraggly and brittle and broken off, shedding, but they're a vegetarian. That's supposed to be a good thing, right? Okay, it's only a good thing if you're doing the other things that you need to do to keep the rest of your body healthy. Okay, your hair, the other cells of your body. All right. Daily protein intake should ideally be 30% total caloric intake. And this, let's say women 19 plus. In other words, you need 46 grams of protein. Men 19 and above, you need 56 grams of protein. And just as a side note, the body cannot produce essential amino acids, proteins. Okay, so what did I just say? Iron and protein. Now, there's some other things that you need in your body. Zinc for hair growth, magnesium, phosphorus. Those things are also great for biotin for growing hair. But keep in mind, protein, you got to have it. Iron, you got to have it. If you're getting those, chances are what you're consuming and what you're eating is normally going to have those other items I just mentioned. And that was not the complete list, but the list is not really that long. So you really need to get into your hair, you guys, if you want healthy hair. Healthy hair produces longer hair. All right. And it does. So healthy hair produces longer hair. So just a myth. I'm going to be doing videos on myths. And one of the myths is that Black African hair will not grow. Another myth is that Black African hair will not grow as fast as Caucasian, European, Hispanics, anyone with straight hair. Well, kind of true. And that is only because, as a matter of fact, sebum. I talked about the two things that will make your hair crunchy. The other thing that will make your hair crunchy, as I started saying, is sebum. Sebum is clear, like I said, on your scalp until it builds up. Well, here's the difference. White people are people with normal straight hair, even if it has a little kink in it. White people, Caucasian, whatever you want to call yourself, Hispanics, people of Hispanic descent. The reason why their hair is longer is because sebum. See, I used to think sebum was a bad thing, but in actuality, sebum is a great thing. I used to wash my hair because I knew I was getting this stuff on my scalp, and I'm like, what is this stuff on my scalp? Is this? And you wash it and it comes back. That's sebum. But here's the deal. There's a thing called excessive sebum, and what happens with that is that the sebum of your white people or Caucasian people with straight hair, to sum that up, their hair is straight. So the sebum can go all the way down to the ends of their strands. Our hair, people of African descent, our hair is normally coily, to some degree, or to a full degree. And what happens is because our hair is coily, guess what? That sebum cannot go all the way to the ends, and you have a possibility of having crunchy ends. Okay. I had to find that out for myself. I cut my hair 40 some times since 2013 when I began my hair journey. And I could not understand why my ends were crunchy. Went online looking for stuff and could not find anything. And then one day on YouTube, I found my answer. There was a creator, YouTube creator, and she focuses on hair. And she informed me via her video that the reason why my ends were crunchy was because my sebum, which I was getting rid of, you shouldn't let it accumulate, and excessive is not good because that can cause hair loss. But I was washing my hair and washing my sebum off my scalp, and I really needed to keep the sebum there, or better yet, change my hairstyle. Okay, so there is a tip for Black African people. Try to keep your hair as stretched as possible, as straight as possible. You can braid your hair to stretch it. I do suggest braiding your hair if possible, as opposed to adding hair to your hair, but it's okay. As long as the hair is disease free, the additional hair, and I suggest washing that hair before adding it in for braiding. But the best way is to twist your hair. That way your hair can breathe. You're still getting stretch. You're not manipulating your hair, trying to take it down. Triple strand is harder to take down, okay, than just twisting your hair. Twisting has a lot of positives, and I had said I was going to do a video on the positives and the negatives of twisting your hair versus braiding your hair. And braiding could be just two braids going back. I mean, just the positives and negatives. But in most cases, braiding is very manipulative, and you're manipulating your hair a lot. Okay. So that's it. Also, you guys, I have my own skin and hair care line. I give you guys this information because I created a skin and hair care line, and since this video is about hair, I'm letting you guys know I have an all natural hair care line that is growing people's hair like crazy, alopecia, etc., 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 etc. Please scroll down where the text is posted for the video. You will find information on the products as well as ordering. And also, I have a money back guarantee currently. So, hey, there you go. All right. So take advantage of that money back guarantee. Try the products and see what you like, what you don't like, whatever. And post your comments. You guys. Okay. I got to say this. I'm not going to say it. A fly just landed. Some of you who are following me will know why I said a fly just landed on the device that I'm using to hold this camera up. Witchery, knowing I was going to wave my hands and risk the chance of me dropping my camera. No, bye. Okay, you guys. The reason why I asked you to look those 10 terms up, you'll understand better. Please check out the Blue Cup in the Attic playlist, and that'll explain why I mentioned the fly. But this video, sorry, is about hair. And that's what I'm going to talk about or have talked about. Okay, so post your comments below. If you have any questions, post your comments below, Tell me if you have a problem with your Pitta dosha. If you're a hot-natured person, just did a video on the doshas, the 3 types of doshas, and what foods are bad for your Pitta dosha, as well as what foods are good if you have an overactive for your Pitta dosha type, which is your body type, and also if you have an overactive Pitta dosha. All right? Hasta la vista. Buenos Aires, buenas noches, arrivederci, au revoir, salida. Don't let the doorknob hit you where the good Lord split you. Ciao Bella, ciao Bello, gotta go. And of course, I just added toodaloo. Bye.